Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. I'm hoping it will. Hold on one moment. Gotta get up and running here so I can see everything that's happening. Hello, everyone. I'm hoping y'all didn't forget about me. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Candy. Hello, Aaron. Hello, Heather Collins. Hello, Robin. Hello, Pamela. Oh, good. Hello, Kim. Hello, Ryan. Who are you? Hello, Donna. Hello, Monica. Hello, Deneen. Hi, Maria. Oh, wait a second. I have something in my bag that I have to go get. Not right this second, though, but I will go get it. And, sorry, my Maymay has been texting me, so I have to wrap up our conversation real quick. So, hi everybody. I'm so sorry that I'm late. Hello, Simon. I have a card from Simon, and I have a card from Maria that had all of your pictures on it. And I'm going to show that in a second. But I'm sorry that I'm late, but I was very invested this evening because Rob had a meeting. And it was a meeting about it was a school board meeting, and I wasn't going to get invested in it because I was like, you know what, it's his deal. But I was like, oh well, I'm going to listen. And it was all about them potentially closing an elementary school in his district. And I was fighting the good fight because I was listening to both sides, and I just got so invested in it. Well, it was supposed to. I did not get them yet, Simon, and I would love them because I want to use them. So I was listening. Hello, Valencia. So I was listening. I got really invested in it, and regardless, they're keeping the elementary school. So I was really happy about that, and I was really excited. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna go live at 9:30, and thank you, Michelle. I'm going to go live at 9:30. Everything's going to be normal. Everything's going to be great. We're going to be back to normal. But it didn't end until literally 5 minutes ago. So I was like, okay, I have to wait for the vote because this has been going. This has been going on for a long time. So now I'm back, and I'm so excited. So, hello again from Florida. Are your nice bags for your store gone already? No, Sue. So I'm glad you actually asked about that. So basically, let me tell you what happened. And I'll tell you what happened real quick. Sorry, guys. I have so much to talk about because I'm so excited to be back with you guys. So the rainbow bags that we had big rainbow bags in the store. And the reason that we started with the big rainbow bags was because we're not technically allowed to use our baskets in the store. So you're allowed to use carts, or as we call them in Pittsburgh, buggies. I know I watched your video, Simon, and I saw you spray it out yourself, and I got real excited about it. So we're not technically allowed to use the baskets yet. I mean, if we absolutely have to, we can, and we can spray them down and sanitize, whatever. But I was like, you know what? We're not doing that. I was like, I want to give them a gift for being some of the first customers back to the store. So I was perusing online for some fun rainbow stuff because, you know, my favorite color is rainbow, and I wanted to figure out something cool. And so I was perusing rainbow stuff, and I came across the IKEA website, of all places. And I came across the IKEA website, and they do these rainbow bags. So I dug a little deeper, and I was like, okay, so wait a second. I said, so what is this rainbow bag for? Like, what do they donate to? Like, do they donate to this? Do they donate to that? And they donate to so many amazing LGBTQIA, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z things, different charities, things like that. So because of that, and I'm allowed to say all those letters because I am part of the LGBTQIA B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P. Don't you try that? Don't you try getting crazy saying the whole alphabet after it. So I was like, okay, well, we have to team up with IKEA. We have to get all these IKEA bags. So I got a lot of IKEA bags, a lot. And the large IKEA bags, which are gigantic, are the ones that we're using in the store for the first, we've upped it to like the first 50 people. So right now we already have, I think we have maybe 10 of those bags left, but I called up our IKEA to get more of these bags. So these are the bags that you're getting with your order until midnight tonight. You have to spend $10 or more. And I ordered 50 more of them. Because by noon o'clock today, we were already down to, I think, 8 of them, I want to say. So I got 50 more. But we, as I'm speaking to you right now, we only have 12 left. So it's happy, but it's also sad because we only have 12 of them left. So these bags are incredible because they are a square. So they're much different than the bags that they've done in the past. I'm going to open up mine. This is mine. So no one else is allowed to have it. But this is what the bags look like this year. So they are a square. Isn't that so cool? So I'm trying to show you without knocking everything over. So they're square and they're big. I mean, they're real big. They have the 2 different straps, and if you spend $10, they are like the little sister ones. And we did them in this size so they were easier to ship to you. I would have done the Big Daddy ones to send everybody, but they are huge, and those are reserved for the store. So if you spend $10 or more tonight until 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, because that would be 3 a.m. For our Central friends, or that would be 12 for our Central friends, you will get one of these. So if you put at least $10 worth of product in your cart at BruceRenault.com and this doesn't pop into your cart, that means that they are all gone. So they are all sold out. And it's not really sold out because we are not selling these. It's just something with the purchase. And you get one for coming into the store without anything. You don't have to spend a dime. You just get one for coming into the store. But it's really hard to be handed a big, beautiful rainbow bag and not want to fill it up. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm there. So I have a feeling you're with me on that. Are you with me on that? That it's really hard to get a big, beautiful rainbow bag and not want to fill it up? I mean, I know that's how I feel. So this is what you'll get. And you'll get this exact, I mean, it's this exact bag. And it's just perfect. Like, it's like the perfect grocery bag. It's the perfect going to the bookstore bag. It's the perfect, I don't know. It's just it's like the perfect crop bag because it's a great size. Now, the one that you get if you come see us at the store. So if you come see us at the store, which I know a lot of you in the Pittsburgh area are going to come see us, and we really appreciate that and love that. If you come to visit us at the store, this bag is it's like 3 times the size of this. This is the bag. This is the bag that you would get if you come visit us at the store. So this is just like 3 times the size. And a lot of folks, thank you so much, everyone that came to the store today. Aaron and Maria and oh goodness, I can't remember. Michelle was at the store today. There was so many folks that came and visit us today. You saw the big version of the bag. So that is incredible. So hold on one second. Let me go grab. I have a mail call to show you guys tonight. So talk amongst yourselves. Discuss what you cannot sneak anywhere with it. It's giant. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk about what goodies you would like to get your rainbow bag. I'll be right back. Oh my goodness, wait, I have a couple of things to show you. Hi, everybody. Ow. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so these are two things that I can't show you yet. They're coming in you will know tomorrow what those are, I promise. You will know those. I will show you those tomorrow. Oh, good, Sue. I can't wait to see what you make with it. Okay, so first of all, this is a beautiful card that was sent to me. I'm not going to read the inside because it's a very, very personal and very beautiful note. So thank you to Simon. This is, oh my goodness, did I lose a gemstone? Oh, no, I didn't. Whew. I was going to say, I worked so hard to make sure that I didn't lose a gemstone, and I didn't. So this is a card that Simon made for me. And look, this is, and I'm so glad he made this because I didn't, and this was in my book bag, so I'm going to have to do a little surgery. I accidentally showed you that thing. So this is a card that Simon made for me, and I'm super excited, and I'm so, so honored to have a card from him, because this is the first card I've ever gotten from Simon, and I can remember whenever Simon first started card making, I sent him a card that I was super, super excited to make. It was like one of the first cards I made. It was before I really even had, I think Brutus Road just started. So I sent him a card, and now I have a card from him, which I'm so, so excited about. So this is the die of the month for this month. If you are a subscriber to the die of the month, this is the die that you are going to receive. And oh, Donna, isn't it great? There we go. There we are, Simon. We're now pen pals. We'll have to send each other a card a week. That'll be our new thing. We'll send each other one card a week. That is our goal. And then we'll just collect them all. I'm going to do a whole wall of your cards. So this is the beautiful card that Simon sent to me. And I am so obsessed with this. Hi, Dee Dee. I am so obsessed with this die, and I hope that all of you use it. And I love how he did the blending, and then he added these beautiful crystals. And I am so, 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 so honored that he sent that to me. Now, this magical Mr. Mistopheles that was given to me today, and I also appreciate more than you will ever know. I'm actually going to get a frame for it. I want to get like a panoramic frame for it, is my goal. I mean, hopefully I can find the right size. If not, I can probably have one made. But this is the beautiful, beautiful card that Maria made for me that I have learned that so many of you were a part of. So look at all these beautiful, beautiful photos of all of my dear, dear, dear friends here on YouTube. And you all wrote such beautiful, beautiful notes to everyone on the team. And I appreciate it so much, and I can't wait because the only thing is I have to figure out how to make this work because I don't want to cover up our beautiful Katie and Maria, but I want this part, so I might have to do a little zhuzhing. But look at this card. I mean, for the love. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, it's just absolutely stunning. And hopefully, at some point, I will be able to, and I'm sure that Maria, if I ask her really, really nicely, I'm sure that Maria will teach me how she did this so that I can teach all of you how to do it. And it's just, I mean, it's just absolutely perfect. It could not be more Brutus Monroe because it has the perfect mix. And look at these little tags. It has the perfect mix of like the floral and the wood, and it's just, I just couldn't be, it's just so beautiful. So thank you to everyone that took part in this beautiful, beautiful card. I will cherish this forever. And as most of you know, I really, really do cherish everything that you guys make for me. Oh my goodness, do I cherish it. And I have every single card. I mean, I have everything. I've had folks that have given me I've had folks that have given me little napkins with, with a saying or a poem or something, and I have a huge scrapbook, and it's not really a scrapbook. It's like a serial killer book, is what I call it. Like in the movies when someone takes, it's a serial killer and they have the glue stick and they're gluing down newspaper clippings. That's basically what mine is. It should not be held in the same esteem and category as a scrapbook. It is not a scrapbook. It is a serial killer book. It is literally, I take a glue stick and I take pictures and things that you guys send me and things that you give me, and I put it in the book. Yes, it's like a burn book. Yes, and it's crazy because again, it's not a scrapbook. It's a book of just all these different clippings and different things. So things like this get framed because it's beautiful and enormous, and it will go in my new office. But if you want to send me a card, you can send it to 1000 Green Tree Road, Pittsburgh, PA 15220. And I can almost guarantee that someone that has the address is going to post it on there for us. But yeah, if you send me a card, just make sure that it's something that you write in there or write in the card. If it's something that you do not want me to show on video or on the live platform, just like this is, let me know. Yeah, I knew Carol would post it. Just let me know. Make sure you write inside that you don't want it to be shared, or write something on the outside, or write it on the envelope. Because I can almost guarantee 100% without a doubt that I am going to share it. So let me know if you don't want me to share it. I will also know, I'll kind of know when to share. I very rarely, if not ever, will share the contents of the card. I will almost never share what you wrote to me because that's personal between you and me. But I will share your artwork because I think it's just absolutely stunning. And I'm so excited because you guys have been sending me so many cards. So I'm just kind of going through all of them, and I have a big bin. And the reason I'm going through these ones so soon is because Maria handed me that one today. And Simon's was actually put in my mailbox as opposed to the big mail bin. So I saw it right away. Oh my goodness, that would be great. Maria, maybe Maria can teach you at like the pajama party or something. That would be cool. Okay, so this is the Totally Tie-Dye 6x6 paper pad. I wanted to show you this because I've gotten so many emails, and don't worry, we are going to make a card tonight. We're going to use one of these to make a card tonight. But I wanted to share with you the Totally Tie-Dye paper pad because we've gotten so many emails about this paper pad. So many emails about this paper pad. And I wanted to show you what the paper pad looks like because since we've gotten so many emails, generally when we get tons and tons of emails, and I'm sorry about my boo-boo. I heard it when I was dummy me. I was closing the French doors the other day, and you have to like lift up to lock it. Well, it didn't go so well, but regardless, I apologize. I should put a Band-Aid on, but it's getting better. So this is the tie-dye, Totally Tie-Dye, and I'm really, really excited about this because it's a little bit of a different type of tie-dye. So, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So normally when you think tie-dye, you're going to think like the back of this packaging. Do you see that tie-dye that's on there? It's a spiral, and it's my internet is about to. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, good, Kelly. You booked your hotel room. Yeah, a lot of the flights and stuff are reopening. So this is the tie-dye. You can see kind of the background. So I want to do something a little bit different because obviously we know that tie-dye can be used often. And, there's a lot of folks that really love tie-dye. I am one of them. I'm literally wearing a tie-dye shirt as we speak right now. But I know Cheryl, right? But the great thing about this tie-dye is I designed it a little bit differently because I knew that there wasn't always going to be a calling, so to speak, for a spiral rainbow tie-dye. Now, don't get me wrong. I love as much. Okay, Kara, I love the rainbow spiral tie-dye as much as the next guy. But I know that that's not something that you will use on every single card. Now, this is something that you can use, I think, on pretty much every single card you make, because it's different. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. So let me just pull these up. This is our first one. It's going to be hard to see because the camera does not like the reds, but I want you to look. I've even included the fabric lines. And these are actual dies that we did. We did handkerchiefs. I did handkerchiefs at my house, and then we scanned it in. So there is the first pattern, and there are 8 patterns and 3 of each. Here's the next one. And I think the thing that I love so much about this is the fact that it has, can you see the fold lines? Isn't that so cool? I mean, it looks like real, fabric. I don't know what this it keeps trying to focus on something that's not this. And I don't know what it keeps trying to focus on, but there we go. Can you see? I mean, you can literally see the fabric. Oh yes, you are going to get this in the rainbow box. Not yet, Michelle, not yet. Hopefully by Friday. Hopefully by Friday. It's the pin that we're waiting on. That's all we're waiting on is the pin. And the pin is so beautiful. I got a picture of it. We're just waiting for it to come in. That's all. Okay, and here's number 3. Everything else is here but the pin, if you can believe it. Oh, I love that D. Another beautiful one. I love this one. I mean, I love all of them, but it's really, really hard to pick a favorite. And in real life, this is not as red. It's hard for me to, I wish I could show you. It's much more of like a fuchsia almost. I don't know. Scrapbooks used to be glued down clipping. Okay, perfect. So I guess it is a scrapbook. Yes. Okay, and then this one again. It's not as crazy bright as it's showing here. Look at how beautiful. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Okay, then we have this guy. If you love your purples, like I know that my Fatima, and I don't know if she's here, loves the purples, so that's purple. And look, I mean, you can literally, it looks like fabric. Look at the fabric pieces. Isn't that crazy? I love it. Then we have this one, and I did as many colors as I could. Oh yes, Maria loves purple too. I forgot. So this one we have the yellows and the oranges and just absolutely. Oh, and my Kara loves purple too. And then we have this beautiful, beautiful green. So, I mean, this really looks like, I mean, it really does look like fabric. I mean, it doesn't get much more fabric-y than this. And I'll show you them spread out just real quick. They're just, I mean, it really looks like just fabric all laid out. So look how pretty that is. Isn't that beautiful? I had to change my piece. Well, welcome to the Brutus Monroe Live, Cheryl. Oh, and my sister, she's here too. Oh my goodness, make sure that, wait, yes, and my sister, yes, she loves purple too. Oh goodness, we're in so much trouble. Oh my goodness, Jerry, you would be in good company. We have some folks, and I'm not going to mention. Yes, it is, Kara. But I would like to say that I did an ancient Japanese technique. I used some hankies that I bought at Amazon and some tie-dye. That's how I did it. But it does look like, oh, she gave it the side-eye. But you would be in very good company, Jerry, because I'm not going to mention any names because they are in the Brutus protection program, but we have some folks that place like 3 orders sometimes in one day, and we so appreciate their business and we love them so much. But yeah, they are going to stay in the Brutus protection program. But yeah, we have a couple of folks, and my sister can actually attest to that because it's funny. And now she won't probably do it anymore because the store is open. But when the store was closed, she used to say, "Oh my goodness, here's another order for so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. I just printed one for them." And I was like, yep, there we are. And and we were trying to combine the orders as much as we can so that you get them all at the same time. But it's tricky because we don't always catch them. Brutus Monroe Protection Plant, that's good. The BMPP. It's hard because some days, like for instance, like I've said before, you guys are just so good, so good to us, and we sometimes do. I mean, we sometimes do, like right now, today alone, we have about 250 orders in, which we are so fortunate and so blessed to have. I mean, my goodness, I can remember when we did 250 orders in like 6 months, and I was so excited. I remember when we did like 25 orders a month, and we were so excited. Heather Collins and I were actually just talking about this the other day. When we used to sit, we honestly, and this is just like times have changed so much. We used to sit at the old Brutus Monroe, and she does thank you out loud. When we used to be at the old 1077 Green Tree Road, we used to sit and we would wait. We did have one stamp set, Simon. We did. We used to sit and wait, and we were just so thankful. I mean, we're so thankful. I mean, we're beyond thankful now. But we used to sit, like it would be me, Heather Collins, and Gio, because that was the whole staff. And Gio's no longer with us. I mean, he's alive. He's just no longer with the company. But we used to sit there and we'd be like, and I don't know if Heather Collins still in here? We used to sit there and we used to be like, oh my goodness, I really, really hope. Oh, good, Sherry. We really, really hope that we get an order. We get orders this week, or we really, really hope that we were able to pay the electric bill, or we're really, really hope that we are able to pay the rent. And it was just so crazy at the beginning. I mean, we used to literally sit there, and we used to literally sit there and wait for orders. And we got so excited when orders came in. Now, don't get me wrong, we still get excited. I mean, my sister gets the most excited out of anyone because she literally is cheering around the store. And when I tell you cheering, cheering. She literally is because we now fulfill orders in like 4 places in the store. And my sister does a lot of the printing of the labels now, because we actually have 3 people that print labels now, if you can believe it. And like the labels that go onto your box when they get shipped out. And I'm going to actually get to color in here while I'm talking. But she was printing orders or printing labels with it. I think it was Saturday. We went in on Saturday and printed some labels, but it was absolutely, it was just so it's just so cool when she prints orders because she gets so excited. I'll be so short. Oh my goodness, we have so much fun. Okay. Sorry. When I go live, everyone always messages me. Well, isn't Regan the best? I love her. We have a new employee at Brutus Monroe. We have Regan as our newest employee at Brutus Monroe. That's when you needed faith. I had a lot of faith, Donna. Let's see. Let's see. Did you have online orders before you had a store? We did. I actually never wanted a store. And let me pull one of these out to start coloring so that I think we'll color this one. And these cards that I'm using, this is set B from our collection. This is set B. Yes, we have actually a speckled egg paper that we've had for a long time. I mean, a really long time. And I hear that it matches really well with that speckled egg, which I think is really cool. So I'm going to go ahead. And start coloring this so I can talk with you guys while I'm doing this. And I'm just using the Arteza Real Brush, and we're going to use maybe a little bit of water, maybe not. I'm not 100% certain yet. But I'm just going to chat. If you don't mind, I'm going to chat about Brutus Monroe while I'm coloring. And I'll tell you the colors that I'm using. So I'm going to start with This one doesn't have a color name, but we'll just call it brown. But yeah, we did have online orders when we opened. So to tell you the whole story of Brutus Monroe, if you guys don't mind listening, the whole story of Brutus Monroe is Brutus Monroe started in a closet. I mean, literally a closet in my old house. And take the plunge and join in. What if I was coming to? Oh, hello, Sandy. Well, thank you. So the store started in a closet in my house at 305 Bodkin Street, and which is such a funny day, but will always stay with me. So at 305 Bodkin Street. Actually, my story begins. You're going to get yourself a set of those rainbow ombre colored pencils. I didn't see them, Janine, but you'll have to post them somewhere so I can find them. I started my journey working for a company called Cricut, and I know that a lot of you are familiar with Cricut. Rob bought me my very first Cricut machine. It was the Cricut Explore, and it was the new Cricut Explore. Well, the new at the time Cricut Explore, and he bought me the Cricut Explore. And actually, tell you the honest to goodness truth, he bought me the wrong machine at first. He bought me the an Expression or something, and I worked for them for quite some time, and then I didn't like that they weren't like updating things, and they weren't updating us on products, and they weren't helping us, and so on and so forth. They've come a long way, we'll say that. So I stopped working for them, and I really, really, really wanted my own company. So I really wanted my own company. This one I'm using next is called Walnut Brown, and I'm going to use that here. I'm going to come back in with this one. So I really wanted my own company. Hello, Gail. Hello, my love. I really, really wanted my own company. That was my goal, was to have my own company. Now, during all of this, I wasn't working for Cricut in the respect of working for Cricut as an employee getting a paycheck. I was a product expert, one of the first product experts, actually. And I was working for a healthcare company at that time, and I was the director of marketing. It was actually a healthcare recruiting company, and I was the director of marketing for Pittsburgh. And I just loved marketing, but I did not like that my staff they just didn't really want to work. I was just seeing that it just wasn't the right thing for me. So I decided that I wanted to start my own company, and I wanted to start my own company by the time I was 30. That was my goal. That was my big goal. Sherry, I will get to that in just a second. So that was my goal, is I wanted to have a company by the time I was 30. So I was just turned 29 when all of this was happening. So I was like, okay, I'm going to have my own company. How am I going to do this? I have no idea. I hope I could figure it out. I don't know if I will. And, I just had to have, faith that everything would work out. So so now we're going to do the wall here, and I'm going to do that with this one. I worked for Maxim, Maria. I worked for Maxim. So then I decided, while I was still at Maxim Staffing, which was who I worked for, and I did all of their marketing for this area, also for Kentucky and Ohio and West Virginia. So what I did was I was working there, and and my boss, my regional boss, now knows this information, which is fine. I'm not telling you anything that they don't know. I started working on Brutus Monroe while I was working at Maxim. In my spare time, I was working on different things for Maxim, and working on different things for Brutus Monroe, because their marketing department, and I think it still is this way, was kind of a little lackluster. So I would get done with a lot of my marketing materials very, very early. I mean, really, really early. So I was like, okay, well, let's work on Brutus Monroe. So if you can believe it, I was working on the entire marketing budget and all of this stuff, and also trying to order photopolymer stamps all at the same time. But I didn't know how to order photopolymer stamps. I was just ordering them. I was designing them, and I was like, hey, is this how I order them? Is this where I get photopolymer stamps? I had no idea. So I was ordering that, and I was ordering inks, and I was doing all this stuff at the same time that I was working, for Cricut and doing this program that they had put into place. Now I'm using Dolphin Gray, and so then oh, thanks, Simon. I hope I'm not boring anybody. I hope this is okay. I hope I'm not boring anyone while I'm telling you the story. So I was working for Maxim, and I did love my job. I mean, I loved the people that I worked with, but I just wanted my own company. That was it. I wanted my own company. So I was just getting started on figuring out how to make stamps, how stamps were made, how to get stamps manufactured. And, I was very much a novice, extremely a novice on figuring out how all that worked. And I will never forget the very first stamp set that I bought, I actually called Photocentric, is actually who makes all of our photopolymer stamps. But I called and I spoke to Stacy. Carrie, these are the Arteza Real Brush pens from Arteza. So I called and Stacy was there. Now there's been like 10 Stacys since then. But Stacy was a salesperson, and she was so kind and so sweet to me. And she helped me every step of the way. I mean, really helped me because I was so lost. So lost. And she helped me. She guided me. I'll never forget. I ordered my first stamp set. It cost $283.72. I will never, ever forget that number because I actually forwent paying my utilities for that month because I said, now, Christopher, if you don't pay your utilities you're going to need to sell these stamps. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you don't sell these stamps, you're not going to be able to pay your utilities. You're going to be in big trouble. Because at this point, Rob and I had been together for about 3 years, and he thought I was nuts, absolutely nuts, which rightfully so. It wasn't that he didn't love me. He just was like, what are you doing? You're going to start a company from nothing, and you don't even know if it's going to work. But that's what entrepreneurs do, right? We jump out of a building and build the parachute or build the plane on the way down. So I started ordering these stamps. I got them in and I started working on all this stuff, and I was getting so excited and so many cool things were happening. And so I made a very, 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 very bold move. Now this was about 3 months into getting, Brutus Monroe up and running on the website of Brutus Monroe. And so I decided, I took a huge leap of faith. I mean, the biggest leap of faith in the history of leaps of faith. And I decided to quit my very, very comfortable, I can't stress that enough, very, very comfortable, very, very comfortable job at Maxim. Extremely comfortable job at Maxim. And I decided to leave. And when I decided to leave, I had never been so terrified in my life, but I had never been so sure in my life. You know what I mean? I have never been so sure. I've never been so terrified, but I've always never been so sure. So I left my extremely, I mean, I can't say comfortable enough, but I'll just say extremely comfortable job from Maxim, and I decided that I was going to go and work at Jo-Ann Fabrics. So I went and I started working at Jo-Ann Fabrics. I made, oh goodness. So I went from a six-figure, very, very comfortable job to making, I think I made $785 at Jo-Ann Fabrics. So I went to work for Jo-Ann Fabrics, and my goal was, when I worked for Jo-Ann Fabrics, I really, really wanted to learn how retail worked, because I had spent, I'm grabbing Arctic Blue to start on the water. When I was working at, I knew, that I had already figured out as much as I possibly could about the e-commerce side of the business. I spent a lot of time figuring out how e-commerce worked. That was my goal, really, while I was at Maxim, was to figure out how e-commerce worked. That was my big thing. I was like, I need to figure out how to how to find, how to do retail. So I took the job at Joann Fabrics, and when I took the job at Joann Fabrics, I worked in the back room. Now, in the back room, it was really, really funny because in the back room, you had to get up, you had to be there at 5 for the truck, which meant I had to get up at like 4 o'clock to drive to my Joann Fabrics. Ooh, was that a mistake? But I'll tell you right now, you will never learn dedication than you will getting up for that truck. So I used to go in for the truck, and when I would go in for the truck, I learned everything. I mean, I had a notebook that I would carry around, and I'll tell you right now, my boss, bless her heart, she thought I was the most thorough employee that she had ever had at that store. I'll tell you right now, she thought that I was the wind, the moon, and the sun, because I was there, and I was taking down all these notes, but I wasn't taking down the notes because I wanted to excel at Joann Fabrics. I was taking notes because I wanted to build my company. So I was taking all these notes, and she was like, "Oh my God!" And it was, I'll never forget, because she literally, I will never forget. She said, and I quote, actually, I think I want to use a marker on this one. She said to one of the other employees, and I hope that one of this, and her name actually was Erin, and I hope that this employee at some point watches the video. She said, "Now, Erin, can you just watch what," and this is cool because I'm just mixing different mediums. This is just a style file marker. And she said, "Now, Erin, can you watch what Christopher's doing? Can you, yeah, very, very, very low paid internship. But I said, she said, "Can you watch what Christopher's doing? You need to take his example, not lead by example, take his example." And now, mind you, I'm like this with a notebook like this, writing down everything I possibly can. I mean, I wrote down everything. And honestly, most of it was writing down the things that I didn't want to do for my company. That was the thing. I was like, there's a lot of stuff I didn't want my company to be. So I worked for Joann's for, oh my goodness, about 8 months. 8 months. And the color I'm using now is green. It doesn't have a name. These are for before they had the names on them. So I was still working at Joann's. I worked there for about 6 months, lost my mind 3 times. But it was so funny how things started to develop, because it was a lot of the people at the Joann's that I worked at really, really didn't want a man to help them. That was the thing. They were like, "Oh, a man can't help me with crafting. They can't possibly help me with crafting." But every single time that there was a paper crafting question, anytime there was a painting question, I mean, just a craft question in general, they were calling for me. And that's actually how I first met Heather Collins, because she wanted a Mink machine, and no one in the store, they couldn't even spell Mink, let alone could tell you what it did. So they would always call me up to the front. They would call me up to the front about Cricut. They would call me up to the front about paint. They'd call me up to the front about everything. And I'll never forget, there were many a times when they would not allow me to cut their, I'm going to use cool gray for the sky. They would not allow me to cut their fabric because they thought for sure that I was going to mess it up. Like, literally, there were women, most of them, oh my goodness, Carolyn, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So sorry. My prayers are out to you, my friend. So I'm trying to think where I left off. I'm so sorry, Carolyn. So yes, so they would not, fabric, Christopher. They would not allow me to cut their fabric. They would get very upset if a guy would be cutting their fabric. And, I would tell them, I'd say, what do you think I used to get in trouble all the time, because I would say, "Well, what do you think I'm going to do? Do you think I'm just going to start all of a sudden going rogue and just start cutting around in circles? I mean, you think I'm just going to start cutting in circles? Like I've never, cut a piece of fabric before?" And they used to get real upset with me when I would say stuff like that. So they would get so upset so upset that that a man was cutting fabric for them. So that was kind of the fire. That was kind of the what lit the fire under my booty. You know what I mean? When they were like, a man can't do this, a man can't help me. Blah, blah. I said, well, I'm going to show you. So lo and behold, I ended up quitting Joanne Fabrics. And I would never, ever, ever change any of that for the world. It's the best thing that I did was going to Joann's to learn. And I almost worked, I think it was like 8 months. And I really wanted to learn everything I possibly could. That was my goal. And they taught me a lot. They taught me more of what not to do than what to do. I can tell you that much. But regardless, I learned a lot. I learned a lot. Oh my goodness, thank you, Carolyn. Oh my goodness, that's so sweet. We are definitely here for you. So I left Joann's, and I'll never forget, my mom was a nervous wreck. Rob was a nervous wreck. Everyone was a nervous wreck. Actually, everyone was a nervous wreck but my sister. My sister, who is here with us tonight, she was never nervous once. I mean, she might have been, but she never let on to being nervous. And hello in Australia. So what was so crazy about that, and I'm going to come in with some light marker stuff here to add a little oomph to it. And so, because you can mix these different mediums, we're just basically coloring tonight. So my sister always believed in me no matter what. And she still does to this day, I think. I mean, she works what not to do. Oh my goodness. I could go on forever. Lots of stuff with inventory and things like that, and really how to handle and how to work with customers and how to listen to customers. That was a big part of it. That was a huge part of it. But regardless, I ended up leaving Joann's, and everyone was so scared, so nervous. Everyone was like, Christopher, what are you doing? Have you gone mad? You don't know what this is going to turn. You don't know what this is going to turn into. You don't know what this is going to. You don't know what's going to happen. You have no idea. You have no clue what's going to happen. You get it together. But I knew somehow, in some way, that it was all going to work out. So I quit Joann's. And again, my only job. That was it. That was my job. That was it. So I quit Joann's, and when I quit Joann's, I decided, and I'm just using a warm gray just to kind of add a little bit of residual color here. When I quit that job, I decided I was going to do Brutus Monroe full time, and was it a struggle for the first couple of months? But I knew I was going to do it. I knew it. I knew I was going to do it. I knew I was going to do it. And I struggled for quite some time because I really was trying to figure out. And at this point, I had already named Brutus Monroe. So I'll tell you really quickly why I named it. I named it after my dog who passed away about 1.5 years ago. His name was Brutus Monroe, and he was the strongest little guy I had ever met. He was rescued from dog fighting, and I didn't know what to call it. So I called it Brutus Monroe. And it just has kind of stuck ever since then. And that's why I named it Brutus Monroe. But he'll never leave my side. I never really thought about that. I never really thought that naming it Brutus Monroe, every day everyone's wearing shirts that say Brutus Monroe, and everyone is, answers the phone saying, hello, thank you for calling Brutus Monroe. And, I knew that I would never spend a day without him, but not like that. You know what I mean? So regardless, I'm taking a piece of key lime cardstock, cutting it down to 4 1/4, just cutting it in half to make our top folding card. So, back to the story. Worked at home, was, no corporate layers of people making decisions who don't cross the stuff. Right, Donna? That was the thing. I mean, I've never seen someone that had no clue about what they were selling until I worked there. But regardless, I digress. So I worked from home for a long time. I was like swinging from the rafters of my house, trying to figure out orders, trying to figure out how we were going to make it, how I was going to make it, how I was going to continue on. And we got our very first distributor, which was incredible. We're no longer with that distributor because I learned that being with a distributor wasn't all that it was cracked up to be. And I couldn't believe that we were with a distributor, and it was incredible. I was filling these orders by myself while Rob was at work, and I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? Am I ever going to be able to do this? And it was crazy. And finally, I made the decision that I was going to, I finally made the decision that I was going to, we're going to cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4, so we have a little laying piece. I decided that I was going to find an office space. And whoo, doggies, did my mama lose her mind. Oh, did my mama lose her mind? Because the problem was Rob was over it. And Rob saw that it was becoming bigger than what I thought it was going to be and bigger than what he thought it would be. So the problem is we needed a new space. And I found one, very fortunate, in Greentree. 1077 Greentree Road. Hello in South Carolina. 1077 Greentree Road is where it all began. And I moved into this teensy tiny little building. Teensy tiny little building. But it was perfect. It was ours, and that's all that mattered. And it was never supposed to be a store. It was about 400 square feet, the whole entire space, about 400 square feet. And it was never supposed to be a store. That wasn't the idea. I never wanted a store. Never, ever, ever wanted a store. I just always wanted to just do like the e-commerce thing. So we moved into this building at 1077 Greentree Road. And probably within, I'm using the tissue tape. This is the 3/4 inch. We also now have a 1/2 inch that just, or no, the 1/4 inch we just came in. It's on our website now. So I decided that we were gonna move into this 1077, tiny. Never was gonna be a store, but it was home, and it was perfect, and it worked great, and that worked for us for about. Heather Collins, I don't think Heather Collins is still here. Heather White, do you remember how long we were in that building? Probably about 6 months. Probably about 6 months, and then we took over the top level of that building. So we took over the top level of that building, which gave us quadruple the amount of space. So we got quadruple the amount of space. And oh no, yeah, she doesn't think that I can't. She didn't think that I couldn't do it. She was just a nervous wreck, and she was like, "What are you doing?" She was like, "What are you doing? What in the heck are you doing?" She never thought I couldn't do it. She was just the most nervous out of everyone. We took over the top level of 1077, and we were there for about oh goodness, for about 6 more months. For like a total of a year, we were in that. Hello in Cincinnati. We were in that area for, or we were in that building for about a year, and we had our very first Christmas party there. And well, it was like our anniversary party. We have it every year, but we had this party, and it was so. That made me silly. But do you have to turn that pickup pen? Nope. You just have to make sure you clean it off. You just have to clean it off. It's wax, so it'll work. You just have to clean it off. I remember the distributor. I ordered your products, then seeing they were gone. So I searched for you. You come a long way. I'm proud of you. Hard worker. Thank you so much, Sue. Thank you. Yeah, I used to be with that distributor, but then we pulled from that distributor because they weren't so nice to us. So we pulled from that distributor. But that's all water under the bridge now. So we were at 1077, and I promise that I'm going to try to wrap this up. We were at 1077, and at 1077, we took over the top level, and then we had our first anniversary party, and like 96 people showed up. And with those 96 people that showed up, I said, okay, well, yeah, we might need to move on. We might need a bigger space. We might need a bigger space. So I called up our realtor that we worked with to get the first space. And I said, you know that building? I said, 1000 Greentree Road? Wasn't it, Eileen? Thank you so much for coming to. It was crammed, though, wasn't it, my friend? It was crammed. I mean, we were a little cramped. But I called up my realtor and I said, "Hey, is that building 1000 Green Tree Road? Is it still available?" And he quickly called me back because I left him a message. He said, "Christopher, that building is going to be available for as long as you want it." And I said, "Oh, what do you mean?" He said, "Christopher Allen, no one is going to take that space. No one knows what to do with it. No one will ever know what to do with it. If you want it, it's yours." So I went and looked at it again. And when I went and looked at it, hi, everyone. Can you see me? Hi, everyone. When I went and looked at it, I mean, this space, I mean, the building we're in now, which is what we're getting to the end game of our story. The building that we're in now, when I went to look at it, the building we're in now, just the first floor, is about 10,000 square feet. Then you add the top floor, the back room, and the downstairs. We have about, give or take, about 15,000 square feet at the newest Brutus Monroe, which is where we are now. And I looked at the space. I'm going to use this one that says, "I can't wait to see you soon." And we're going to use some Raven ink. I went and looked at that building for like the third time. And I looked at it and I was like, "Oh my goodness, there's just no way." I said, "There's no way. There's no way that I can take this space." And the rent was like three times what we were paying. And I said, I looked at myself, I said, "Christopher Allen," I said, "Are you nuts?" I said, "Have you completely gone cuckoo? Are you crazy? You have no idea where Brutus Road is going to be next week, let alone, 3 years from now," because I signed a 3-year lease. So I was like, "Oh my goodness, what am I going to do?" Oh, thank you, Kara. I was like, "What am I going to do? This is crazy." But I knew we needed the space. That was all I knew, is that, we were going to have more staff, hopefully, and that we were going to need more space. So I signed that lease. Oh my goodness, I like cucaracha, right, Maria? I didn't even tell my mom, Jerry. That's the craziest part. So, and I'll tell you what I did, and I'm surprised she didn't throw me. It was the size of a big closet, wasn't it, Eileen? Wait till I tell you what I did to her. I'm surprised that she still talks to me. So I signed the lease. Never been so terrified in my life. I mean, lice. Yeah, lice too. Never been so terrified in my life. Signed the lease, and that was it. That was the deal. That was it. I signed that lease, and I didn't tell my staff right away. No, I did not. No, I did not use her credit card. I didn't use any credit card, actually. I signed the lease. She went cuckoo because I tricked her, but I'll tell you in a second. So, I will tell you this. So this is how much of a leap of faith it was. When I signed the lease for 1000 Green Tree Road, which is the home of Brutus Monroe now, and will be the home of Brutus Monroe forever. If anything, we'll get another warehouse or something if we have to, but we will always be at 1000 Green Tree Road, unless, Green Tree, where it's located, messes with us. But I had enough money. This is the craziest part, and this is probably going to make all of you gasp. We had enough money saved at Brutus Monroe to pay the salaries of the entire staff and pay the rent for 1 month. That was it. That was all we had left. We had 1 month's worth of salaries and 1 month's worth of rent for the building. That was it. So I said, and that was after, paying for everything to move everything over, all the expenses and stuff like that. So I said, we have to do it. We have to. That's all I had. I had enough money left in the Brutus Monroe account to pay for 1 more month of the salaries and 1 more month of the building. But I knew I had to do it. And fortunately, we were in the building only for a month before we opened. I mean, literally 30 days. We had 30 days from when we moved in till, we had a little more than 30 days, because I signed the lease April 13th, which was my birthday. April 13th, I signed the lease. And we had about 30 days, because we got like till the end of April for free. And then we had to pay for May. So May, we worked for that whole entire 30 days, still doing orders, half at the old place, half at the new place. We were filling orders. I mean, it was back and forth. It was just crazy. So then We were getting ready for opening day. Opening day, I believe, was June 3rd. We just celebrated 2 years. It was just 2 years at the new space. And I said, okay, all right, this is it. Are we going to be able to do this? Hopefully people show up. Hopefully we have a good opening day. Hopefully everything works out. And it was terrifying. It was really scary. And I'll never forget. We're going to cut this down a little bit more. And literally, I had, no joke, we had enough money for 1 month, and I bet everything. I put it all on red. We'll say red. Is that like something with roulette? So I put it all on red. Number 13. Is red 13? Might be black. You guys have to let me know if anybody plays roulette. So I put it all on one number, and we were very fortunate when we opened, and you can actually see the opening day. Thank you, Cheryl. You can see the opening day ribbon cutting on YouTube. It's actually on YouTube. When my little nephew Joey, I call him Scoozy, helped me cut the ribbon. But it was crazy because I didn't think anybody was going to show up. I mean, I hoped people would show up, and I really, really, dreamed that people would show up because I had, a lot. I think I'm as far as you can. Oh my goodness! Hi, Kim. I've been doing these for, oh goodness, probably about a little over a year and a half now. A little over a year and a half. But I was terrified, and my mom was. Oh, back to my mom real quick. So I told my mom that I signed the lease because we all went out to dinner for my birthday. So I signed the lease on my birthday. Got the keys, got everything, because it was the same building manager, so we didn't have to, they weren't worried about me doing anything weird. They gave me the keys that day. So we were sitting at dinner, and we all were walking down the street to get to our cars, because Rob and I had already moved into our new house at that point, which was right down the street. And hello, Gypselina. So we're walking down the street, and I show my mom the building, and I said, Mom, do you see this? Remember that used to be, the Green Tree Forest? I said, remember how crazy that was in there? I said, remember how much everything was stuffed in there and how nuts it was? I said, look how cool it is. I said, isn't it such a nice space? I said, isn't it so cool? And she said, yeah, it's a nice building. Thank you, Kim. I said, isn't it a nice building? Isn't it great? And she said, yeah. And I said, do you want to look inside? And I don't think she was thinking about it. She wasn't thinking about what I was up to. So I unlocked the door. And we walk inside, and she wasn't thinking at all anything about this. I don't know if she just was she just thought that maybe I had the key because of, our building manager and so on and so forth. But we walk in, and she's looking around. She goes, yeah, this is a really big space, Christopher. I mean, this is a really big space. And she looks at me, and she goes, wait a second. She goes, did you have the key? Did you? I said, sure did. And I said, Mom, you're looking at the new home of Brutus Monroe. I thought she was going to pass out. Now, I had already told Rob's family and my sister and everyone to come to the store because I wanted them to see it. And they already knew. I just didn't tell my mom yet because I didn't want my mom to pass out. I thought she was going to pass out on the spot. I thought she was just going to be done, on the ground, flat out, sayonara sucker. And she, of course, was terrified because the original Brutus Monroe, and the thing that's really cool about the evolution of Brutus Monroe is if you go right onto this, if you're on YouTube, if you go to the beginning, you can search actually on my channel and see the very first day that I showed you what Brutus Monroe used to look like. And I mean, Brutus Monroe, I can promise you that Brutus Monroe today looks nothing like Brutus Monroe did back then. My team and I have done some crazy, crazy things to update Brutus Monroe. But so fast forward to opening day. We did a lot between showing my mom the space and opening day. But you'll be able to read all about it in the book. So we're opening day, and my mom she comes in. Everyone in the staff is there. We've actually added 3 staff members since then. But the whole staff is there, and we're all sitting around. And I was like, I can remember everybody was outside, and I told them, I said, can you hand things out and so on and so forth? Because I didn't know if anybody was going to show up. I was a nervous wreck. And, everyone went outside to, hang out. And I was like, okay, I'm going to have a moment with the Lord. I said, I'm going to sit in here, and I'm just going to, give thanks for all of my blessings and blah, blah, blah. And I walked out the door, and there is a literal. You can see. I think it's on the Bruce Renault page. You can see my face of shock when I walked out that door and saw how many people were out in that front parking lot. I could not believe it. I was in complete. I mean, I was like stunned. I couldn't move. I was in such shock. And we had our opening day, and we didn't have much. I can tell you that. We didn't have. I mean, we had a good amount of products, but we certainly didn't have much. But it was ours, and I loved it, and I still do, and I love what I do every day. But our spot was. Oh, Maria! Oh, I think you'll love. You really have to watch like the original, what the space looked like before. But we didn't have much, but it was ours. And I can remember sitting at my little desk. I mean, I had this tiny little desk. It's actually half of Courtney's desk now. Courtney actually has the original Brutus Renault desk, but there's a piece that's been added to it because she needed more room. She has 2 monitors now. And I can remember sitting at that little desk, and I had this little tiny bulletin board right in front of me, again, in a closet in my old home, 305 Bodkin. And I was sitting there, and I remember like thinking to myself, like, how is this all going to work? Like, will I someday have a staff? Will I someday not be swinging from the rafters of the basement trying to put together, distribution orders for like, half a penny? What will I be? What will it look like? What will it look like in 5 years? And I certainly didn't think that it would look like what it looks like now. Am I in awe of what it looks like now? Absolutely. But I never thought it would look like this. And just to give some of you all perspective, we moved in June 3rd of 2018. Yeah, June 3rd. I know, Jips. Thank you. June 3rd of 2018. Since then, we have added 3 staff members. I know, right, Kim? We've added 3 staff members. We have added on a mini Monroe studio, which I'm super excited about. The mini Monroe studio is obviously where we do our classes and all of those incredible things. We have now just added on. We've now taken over the entire bottom level of our building, which I'm really excited to share that with all of you at some point soon. We were supposed to take it over right before the quarantine and everything happened, but it just wasn't in the cards. And we're very fortunate at Brutus Monroe, and any of the staff will tell you this, that everything just happens when it's supposed to happen at Brutus Monroe. That was the thing. It was everything was just supposed to happen when it happened. So we're getting ready to take over custody, as I say, of the lower level, which is going to give us an additional 5,000 or 6,000 square feet, including the one loading dock area. So that's going to help us a lot with subscriptions, to get subscriptions out faster. We just don't have room at this point. And we are now registered. A registered company. We're a real company. And it's crazy to think that. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's still a very small company, in respects of, a lot of the other craft companies, but it's, when I found out from our accountant that we had become $1 million company, I can say that I definitely was weak at the knees. I was definitely weak at the knees because, and I will share this with you kind of as the last thing, because our card, obviously, as you can see, is done. I'm going to sign it real quick. When I was in school, there weren't a ton of people that believed in me. And there were, there was my mom and my sister and, some of my family members that did believe in me. They did believe in me, and there were quite a few people that did believe in me. But there were a lot of people that didn't. And that was the thing that was I think the toughest growing up, was that, I a lot of the times I didn't feel as smart, or I didn't feel as I didn't feel equal to a lot of folks that I went to school with, or my friends and things like that. But it's crazy to think, and I am 100% living proof of this, that you can do anything. I mean, you can do anything. And please take my story. And I'm so excited to be able to share with you this story tonight. That you can do. I mean, you can do anything. You really can. Um, and you can literally do anything. And I am 100% living proof of that. Even when I was starting this company, there were so many people that said, what are you doing? You shouldn't be starting your own company. What, are you nuts? Like, this is insane. Don't even think about it. Don't even begin to think about it. And I knew that I had to, and I knew that there wasn't a way to fail. Carolyn, you said what? Oh no, all caps, what? What did I do? But it's so comforting to know that you can work your ass off. And yes, I said ass. I'm probably gonna get a strike because I said ass, but I don't care. I worked my ass off to have this company that is Brutus Monroe, and so has my team. I mean, really, I have the best team in the industry, and I say that all the time, and the best family in the industry, and the best support group, and the best everything. And Brutus Monroe has become something that is so much more than I know, Carolyn, something so much more than a company. It's become so much more than a brand. It's become so much more than a lifestyle. It's become so much more than a product. It's become a family. We rely on each other. We are a group, and it's crazy because we've all been through so much together. I mean, we have. Thank you, Veronica. We have. We've shared so much together. I mean, we're a family. We are a family unit, and crafting is our common bond. Creating is our common bond. Our common bond is this. It's Brutus Monroe, and I'll leave you again with this: that Brutus Monroe, the dog, Brutus Monroe, the little miniature pincher that could. He lived the fullest and most what's the word I'm looking for? Most incredible life that he possibly could. And I rescued him from dogfighting. He had that will to live, and he was just so incredible. He was my best bud in the whole wide world, and he was my everything. And spoiled. He was definitely spoiled, Cheryl. And it's so crazy. And this is the thing that I think is I'm in awe of every day. Brutus came to me at a time in my life when we both needed one another. And it was, right when I was starting a new job that I was unsure of. I had just gotten through a breakup. I was living in a big house all by myself, and it was a lot. But, Brutus Monroe came to me at a time that, we didn't know that we needed each other, but we needed each other so much. And I mean, we really, really needed each other when we found one another. I mean, he was really, really in rough shape. And, I wasn't in rough shape, but I was, second guessing, what my path was. And it's just so crazy to think that now Brutus Monroe, the company, or Brutus Monroe, whatever and however you see Brutus Monroe, has done that for me again, day after day. And I think it's done that for so many of you. It's become, Brutus Monroe has kind of jumped into a lot of people's lives the same way that Brutus Monroe jumped into my life. Do you know what I mean? Brutus Monroe jumped into my life when I didn't think I needed him, but I oh so did. And I think that Brutus Monroe, whether that's me or the company or, whatever it is, the way that Brutus Monroe found its way into your life, I'm almost done with it, Deneen. The way that Brutus Monroe found its way into your life, I think it's the same way that Brutus Monroe found its way into mine. And I'm proud of Brutus Monroe, and I'm proud of what the company has become, and I'm proud to call all of you, not just my partners in creativity, which is, what we call our customers at Brutus Monroe, but my family and my friends. And you guys are so important to me. And it's crazy that little miniature pincher, who's looking down on all of us right now, running around like a crazy little man, I'm sure, is still continuing to bring me such incredible joy through all of you, and through the amazing things that, he gave me 14 incredible years as my pup. And now he's given me so many more years that I knew he would, but it's just it's crazy, and I'm so fortunate. So thank you all for listening to thank you all so much for listening to my story tonight. Thank you all so much for being a part of my life. I'm going to write my favorite saying on here, and it could not come at a more poignant time to create your own ending, because everyone has the ability to do that, whether that is in life, whether that is in your journey of creating, whatever that may mean to you. But of course, creating your own ending is something we can all do. Thank you, Carolyn. I'm excited to see who gets this incredible card in their in their package. I think it's a really cool card. It was a really simple card. All we did was, color a panel and chatted the whole time. I think it was a lot of fun. Remember, as of right now, I just looked at the monitor. There are 3 of these rainbow bags left. I really hope that you get one. I think it would be really, really cool for you to get one. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop this right inside of here. Oh, thank you. Love you too, Simon. I'm going to pop this right in here because someone's going to get this. I mean, they're going to get this whole package tomorrow. I want to thank you all for being a part of me. I can't wait now for you guys to all read the book. I'm hoping that it will be out by fall. Of course, everything is even more delayed because of all the 19 stuff. But it is called How to Tie a Tie and Other Things My Mother Taught Me. And I think that you guys are really going to love it. It's the story of my life. It's kind of in 3 parts. It's right now it's 13 chapters. I'm working on and finalizing the very last chapter because, it's definitely, there's some stuff that's happened in the past, couple of months that I'm so grateful for. Not yet, Simon. Very, very soon. Very soon. But yeah, it's called How to Tie a Tie and Other Things My Mother Taught Me, because my mother taught me pretty much everything that I know, especially about tying a tie. So I'm really excited to share that with you because I was reading a couple passages from it the other day, and there are some really funny parts and there are some really sad parts, but it's really about the life of an entrepreneur. And it's all about growing up with my mom. And my mom, oh yeah, there's quite, my sister shows up quite a few times in the book. But it's about, the love of my mama, and my mama, she, How to Tie a Tie and Other Things My Mother Taught Me. Yep. So, she taught me everything I know. She really, truly, and sincerely taught me the number one lesson, and that was how to be good. How to be good to people, how to make sure that others were taken care of, the same way that you would want to be taken care of by others. And she's the sweetest and most kindest soul that you will ever meet. And I hope that you all have a chance to meet. Love you too, Dawn. I really hope that you all have the opportunity at some point to meet my mama. But yeah, she is the grace and just the full epitome of grace and kindness and love. And I hope so, Laurie. Hopefully at the store. But she's just she taught me so much. I mean, not just how to tie a tie, but also how to be good. And I try to be as good as I can every single day, and I try to take the differences that I have with others and figure out how we can have similarities instead of differences. And that's just what she taught me. I mean, she taught me just to be a good person. And, I try to instill that in all of you, to be as good as you possibly can. Because it's just kindness is so much easier. You know what I mean? It's so much easier to be kind, so much easier to be kind. And it just be kind. You know what I mean? So thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you for listening to me babble on about my life and about my story. I hope that I didn't bore you too much. And I hope that you enjoyed listening to the story. Because I sure do love telling it, because it is, I just love talking about how Brutus Monroe came to be. I love you too, Maria. So thank you all so much. Remember to create something every single day, whether that is a beautiful under the sea card, or love you too, Kelly, or your own ending. I appreciate you more than you will ever know. You are my incredible, incredible creative family, and I will be back tomorrow. Don't worry. The way Rob and I met is real boring. We met each other at a karaoke bar. It's real boring, really, really boring. The story of how Rob and I met is real boring. I was bartending at a bar, or not bartending. I was at a karaoke bar called Duke Station, and he was sitting across the bar, and I was sitting on the other side, and the bartender said, and I'll never forget this, he was wearing a Steelers hat and a Steelers jersey, and he was drinking, I think, like a Bud Light at the time or something, and the bartender came over to me, and she said, "Hey," she said, "that guy over there was asking about you." I said, "Asking about me?" I said, "Well, he just looks like he just got back from like a football game or something." I said, "What's he doing asking about me?" So he asked for my number, which was hysterical, because it was a straight bar, completely straight bar, karaoke straight bar. Asked for my number, and we ended up going out to dinner, and we never left each other's side since then. We've been together. We'll be together 9 years. It's crazy, and he's stuck with me through all this madness. But yeah, might have been a karaoke bar. But it's really funny. There's the chapter in the book where I met Rob is actually called Titanic. And you'll have to read the book. It's really funny. But yeah, it's called Titanic. And there's a funny story behind that. But yeah, Titanic is the name of the story, the name of the chapter. So I think you guys will like it. So love you all so much. I will talk to you all very, very soon. I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Love you.